Today I want to talk to you about distance learning, talk to you about a package of educational investments and donations that we've been able to organize to help support our 6+ million kids that are not physically in the classroom, but we hope and expect are learning every day. The issues of equity, the issues of access and availability of laptops and computers and screens, issues of connectivity as it relates to internet and broadband, all of those issues vexing even on the natural, but particularly under the circumstances made more acute and more foundational in terms of our ability to not just promote the promise of education during this time, but to actually deliver on it.
2 weeks ago, a survey of parents found that 50% of low-income families and 42% of families of color in California are worried about distance learning because they don't have a personal device at home. As the governor mentioned, he issued a call to action for companies to meet this moment and help close the digital divide, starting with a pledge from Google of 4,000 Chromebooks. In the weeks since, a few colleagues and I have reached out to countless individuals and companies asking them to dive deep into their pockets and see what they can do for California's most vulnerable students. Because of these commitments, hundreds of thousands of families will cross the digital divide, including 70,000 California students who will receive laptops, Chromebooks, and tablets starting this week. We all know that education is fundamental to opportunity. And so our mission will not end until every child in California has what they need to continue learning while physically distanced. This pandemic should not stand in the way of California students reaching their potential and realizing their dreams.
Grateful to the California Public Utilities Commission. You'll hear today about creative ways that the state of California is leading with public finances, with public dollars, to make sure that students can have a laptop or a Chromebook or a tablet, and to make sure that they can have access to a hotspot in their home. Very creative work on the part of the governor's staff, the Department of Finance, and our staff at the PUC.
We have a lot more work to do, not just to close the digital divide in the context of this pandemic, but more broadly, decades in the making, weeks now of intensive focus and unprecedented private sector support, but we're going to need to quadruple down on what we're doing in order to get where we ultimately all need, recognize where we need to go. And that includes, by the way, a lot of work this summer, and Linda Darling-Hammond is available on the phone. We'll take questions about thoughts around summer learning and opportunities that extend beyond the technical end of this school year, but we want to provide what we can in these hotspots and provide these supports so we can continue to extend that learning time even though the schools are closed. Learning and education must continue. Distance learning can be operable in the state of California. It just needs to have an equity lens, rural, small districts, and those from a socioeconomic perspective that deserve our support. So progress here today and also progress tomorrow and over the course of the next number of months. I referenced some of that progress being advanced because of the CPUC. Rob Osborne is also available for questions if people have them about a teleconnect effort through the PUC. We're setting aside $25 million to advance that effort. That's, again, hotspots, Wi-Fi, addressing the issue of digital divide. They will supplement the work of Apple, Google, and others in that space. In addition to that, they're putting $5 million, total package, $30 million at the PUC, to procure additional Chromebooks, tablets, iPads, excuse me, not iPods, as I referenced a moment ago, as needed, tools to plug in devices that will allow people to do the distance learning that we are promoting at this moment. And so some progress we wanted to share with you in that space. Also progress as it relates to partnership at the city's level. The city of Sacramento is looking at a proof of concept they'll be rolling out in the next number of days, I think around right before May 1st. They're going to be converting 7 school buses and making them mobile hotspots to provide access. If that proof of concept is successful, we'll roll that out more broadly throughout the state of California.